Good evening. Peace be with you all. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. So join a TikTok and YouTube, and then I think there is a LinkedIn as well. Hope that all of you had a good Thanksgiving. I was away out of town. In fact, I was in Texas, which will be interesting state. I will be making TikTok. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. I do it every Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Time. And then, hi everyone. If you post any questions, then I'll be answering live as much I can. Usually, I do it for 30 minutes. But speaking of my time in Texas, um, why is it important? Because when new presidents introduce new ideas, then usually they base federal program on a state example. So, for example, New Deal, right? Which like we survived the depression through the New Deal and World War II. It was based upon Wisconsin model. FDR talked to and learned and brought these experts from Wisconsin. They were the backbone of New Deal. Obamacare started in Massachusetts, right? And then it was under Mitt Romney, Republican governor, but from Massachusetts. I believe many people speculate that Trump's mass deportation will be based upon Texas experiment. So I'll be making a YouTube and TikTok live on this connection between Texas model and what the Trump will do. I see a lot of questions here. Excellent 47 asking 45 step 3 complete. What's next? You mean that the biometrics done? It's just you need to give a little bit more explanation. Now, one of you asked question about asylum, and then you live in Wyoming. What your chances? So now you're talking about affirmative asylum with the USCIS or a defensive asylum case. Now with the USCIS, it's kind of hard to tell because they don't post any approval rating. But even under Biden, affirmative asylum approval was difficult. But if you have defensive asylum with the immigration court, then you can look it up, your assigned immigration judge's approval rating. I tell this one many times. I was a professor, college professor for 22 years. And then when I was taught, still exists, there's like app called Rate My Professor, right? And then there is a similar app to rate IJ, immigration judge, in terms of approval rating. So if you happen to have a defensive asylum, then you know your judge, right? They just check approval rating. But unfortunately, under Trump, all approval rating will go down because he's gonna pressure immigration judges to deny many cases, the pending cases with the immigration court. It happened under his first term. I'm not trying to scare you, or I'm not trying to present the fake news. Whenever I talk about Trump immigration, it's based upon what he tried to do. And then there is a good chance that it could be repeated, expanded, right, for his second term. So I'm catching up with the question here. Now, okay, the user 5582 said that you can apply for husband and wife. I'm not sure what application benefits you're talking about, but you need to be more specific. Okay, Lil Jr., what's new with the VAWA cases? I mean, one of the most update is that most VAWA cases will be scheduled for interview. So if you don't have inadmissibility issues, then you'll be able to submit 360 VAWA and 45 and all this. And then USCIS will review and approve your 360, no interview. But when they review, right, your 45 adjustment of the status application, then under the new regulation posted recently, they're gonna schedule interview. Now, I've been talking about this many times. for those of you who have a marriage green card case, right? Since July 2022, no interview for most cases. For our cases, about 95% of cases, no interview, just approval based upon paperwork. Now under Trump, it may change. It means that all cases will be scheduled for interview. So it's coming. Okay. User 6402 asked the question. It's a little bit jumbled, so it's kind of hard to tell. If misrepresentation, marriage fraud, they can cancel 10-year green card. So I'm just guessing. Once again, I could be wrong. So you're saying that you obtain 10-year residency based upon marriage to U.S. citizen, whether you got 2-year and then 7-5 on removal conditions, or you got 10-year green card, it's about the same, and then you are worried that maybe you didn't present your case correctly to USCIS. You need to be careful because when you apply for naturalization, once again, this is like professor talk. It's like final exam. They're going to review everything. So once again, Trump talk, Trump moment. What that means is that under his first term, when USCIS review N400 naturalization cases, they review all previous cases. And a lot of attorneys talk about denaturalization now. I didn't make anyone yet because everybody's talking, but under Trump, denaturalization, it means that you're naturalized U.S. citizen through N400, and then the Trump's administration selected some, and then just like cancel naturalization. It's called denaturalization. This happened a lot during the Cold War. The U.S. government targeted communists or alleged communists, and they denaturalized and deported out of the United States. So it's coming back, potentially. So you need to be careful. 212 waiver. 212 waiver, is used when you're subject to, U.S. entry bar, right? It can be 5 years. It can be, like 10 years and all this. It takes quite some time. I would say between 6 and 1 year, maybe longer. And then we wonder how long all waiver cases will take under Trump, right? I mean, even under Biden, super slow. So 601, 601A, 212 waivers are the most common ones, and then they may take longer. We don't know under Trump. Okay, now, the Randy asks, do military spouses get their cases processed faster? You're talking about marriage green card case. Some not necessarily, but if you have certain condition and then you're a permanent resident, then you like to naturalize to become U.S. citizen, and that process can be faster. That can process faster. Okay. I have a lot of questions, and some of you ask question that needs a clarification. Okay. Now I'm just seeing this. So yeah. So then, Lil, probably you missed my comments. USCIS does not schedule for 360 VAWA petition, but they schedule interview for 45 going forward. Okay, 45 the adjustment of the status. Yes, some of you say good evening. Okay, so user 4738 asks interesting question. So I'm gonna read the question. So user 4738 entered the US with a B1 visa, right? B1 B2 visa, and then she's wondering whether she can get married and go back to the country. And then yes, she said her husband. So her husband may file. I mean, it can be same sex, so I'm not sure. The answer is yes. So if you enter the U.S. with a tourist visa, you may get married as long as you go back to your home country, and then your spouse may file I-130 petition. If you need, attorney, just let us know. But if you enter with a tourist visa and get married and apply for green card, that you need to be careful. So this is 60, 90-day wait period conversation. Once again, Trump moment, right? Now, under Biden, there is no wait time. I mean, many people confuse about this. Many people, claim that you need to wait 90 days to get married and apply for green card if you enter with a visa or ESTA under Biden. That's not true. Biden's USCIS not following any of Department of State's regulation. That's what they said. Now, under Trump, it was 90 days. Now, when he come back, it'll be 90 days minimum. So you need to be careful in terms of getting married too fast and then applying for green card too fast. You need to be careful. But once again, repeating one more time, if you enter the US with a visa or ESTA, and then you got legally married in the US, but you leave the United States and go back to your home country, then no issue. Okay, if you just get married and never apply for green card too fast. Okay. Oh, I see. User 5582 clarify the question. So now, when you get married, so you have a pending asylum case, and then when you get married, then you may add your spouse as a derivative. Depends on defensive and then affirmative asylum cases are convoluted, different, but that's possibility. Okay, so Serge June 21. Sorry, I'm just butchering your name. Sorry, I hope that is not so off. You're asking what's the best choice, right? You're comparing spouse visa, CR1, and then fiancé visa. If you need attorney, contact us, right? But I will tell you this: K1, 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 because it's a faster. Unless you're in Mexico or Pakistan. Pakistan, it's not a really typical fiancé visa destination, so I wouldn't include it. But all other countries is a faster. Spouse visa, the CR1 takes longer, like I would say 18 months minimum, although it may go faster. But once again, Trump moment. When he comes back, not right away, but soon, he's gonna add DS 5540 public charge, additional add-on process to be added to consular interview. So it's gonna slow down. So fiancé visa. Yes, Casmiero asked whether Trump will make student visa application approval more difficult. Answer is based upon his first presidency. Answer is yes. And then people don't talk about this because it's Chinese, right? I was born in South Korea. I'm not Chinese, right? I'm naturalized U.S. citizen. But obviously in college I taught American history and Chinese history as well. Now, and then also I practiced as an immigration lawyer during his first term. You know what? He targeted against Chinese. And then for those of you Chinese students who's watching this, just be careful because getting student visa from China will be very difficult under Trump. Okay. Now, Valido asks question: changing address without updating effect the naturalization? Depends. So are you talking about change of address process? And then, according to regulation, actually, your case could be denied. It means that until you become a U.S. citizen, you must report your address change to USCIS. That is required. But your question is that if you fail to do it, will they use it as against you when you apply for N400 naturalization? Not now, but under Trump, maybe yes. So even if it's too late, you need to just do it now. Report change of address. You know that you're not able to do it online anymore, right? You need to use your My USCIS account. So I'm gonna drink some water. Just give me 1 second. But make sure that you do it, okay? Because you never know. Okay. Oh, the lobby. Okay, like current step. Case decision. The marriage green card cases takes about 6 months for us. We don't know how long it'll take under Trump, and then when I say 6 months, the case is filed in 2024. The cases filed previously, 2023, 2022, took longer, partially because of COVID. So it's kind of hard to tell. But I would say 6 months to get either approval or interview. Okay. And then, yeah, SP, good evening. Thank you so much. I'm just reviewing, scrolling back these questions that I missed. Just give me 1 second here. There's a lot of them today. Oh, good to see you again. I'm sorry that I missed you last week because I was out of town. Okay, so I caught up now. I'm just reviewing this. Okay, so Jonat or Jonah T. I mean, just once again, sorry, I'm just not pronouncing your name correctly. Looks like you have a pending marriage green card case, and then you file tax return separately. I mean, under Biden, it may be okay. It was okay, but it's not ideal, right? Because if you are married, and then if foreign spouse has a valid social security and IT number, it is highly recommended that you file married filing jointly. Sometimes you may be okay with AOS, which is the marriage green card case, but if you continue filing separately, then when you apply for naturalization, you're going to have a hard time, especially under Trump. So, I will tell you this for those of you who's working to get your case ready for submission, like you're working on your cases now, you need to approach that your case will be reviewed by Trumpian USCIS. So you need to anticipate. It's hard, right? Because we can speculate, but he's not president yet, so we don't know. But we can speculate. So that's why a lot of attorneys, including me, churning out the videos, telling that this is what happened. But I mean, I'm not saying that I'm too different, but what I usually do is that I review his previous presidency and then speculate, because one reason is that I was a history professor, and that's how I look at the past, connection between the past and present and the future, because I'm not able to predict, right? I'm not Trump. So that's what I do. Okay. So Shen Willie, right? You mentioned that my minor son got RFE, the request for evidence for I-130. What they normally ask for, I mean, depends. Is this adjustment of the status, or is it more like your son is overseas, right? And then depends on your gender, right? Whether, I mean, looks like you're female, but your icon is so small. But if you're a male and then you have a son born out of wedlock, then it can be issue. But if you're female and biological mother, usually the issue would be, is there a supporting document to show that you're biological mother? So that's usually the case. And the later, then when you go for interview, consular interview, then they will be asking whether you have a legal custody of the child. So, and also, yeah, that's the main concern. Okay, thank you so much for following me. Okay, yeah, Lil, thank you so much for staying on this live stream. You're very patient. You're asking questions, and then I'm just trying to do my best to answer all of them. So she's working on VAWA case, or looks like you have a pending VAWA case. Under Trump, it'll be more difficult. And then I don't want to scare people. Once again, I don't have any agenda. I mean, I made some, videos about Trump, and then many people posted certain comments that I don't approve, right? And then some of them accuse me of sort of working for Harris. That's not the case. I'm not, popular, or, I'm just immigration attorney. Okay, that's not the case. I'm not trying to scare you to make money either, but I like to educate you as an attorney and then former college professor. So circling back to VAWA. under his first presidency, when the USCIS denied the VAWA cases, it can be 360 or 45, they put them into removal proceeding. Under Biden, no. Under Biden, no. Okay, so but under Trump, they will put you into removal proceeding. If they ever put, I mean, I'm not talking about you, Lil, but in general, right? You have a pending VAWA case, then ever denied and put it into removal proceeding, contact us. We that's one of our specialty too. We do VAWA and then surviving removal proceeding through VAWA relief. Okay, Pinda mentioned just I-130. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's about processing time or anything. If you would like to add more questions, I would be happy to answer that. Okay, so Vilchev, me and my husband have been married for 12 years. And then we file our I-130 maybe, and then you have a 4-year gap. I mean, the 4-year gap in the age difference is not a big deal. Looks like your spouse overseas, right? And then, yeah, so then she has a follow-up question like, will this cause problem? Yeah, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't worry too much about age gap. 4-year difference is not major. We work with the clients 20 years, different apart and 30 years and all that. So I don't think that's issue. But you've been married 12 years. Were you living together overseas 12 years? Then you have some issue. It's called showing that U.S. is your primary residency. It's called U.S. domicile issue if you live together overseas. But if you're in the U.S. and your spouse overseas and you meet like once in a while, then they will be wondering like, is this like real continuous marital relationship? If you have a lot of children, then that helps. So showing the relationship, right? Like you've been married 12 years and then you maintain marital relationship, and or proving U.S. domicile is more issue than just like 4-year age gap. Pinda repeated I-130, but I'm sorry, Pinda, I need more information. Okay. Yeah, so Don Kyle asking question, I think that I missed the question here. So what does it mean when your I-45 and I-130 is at case decision online? So they're reviewing your case, but the problem is that we don't know how long it'll takes, right? And I don't know whether they schedule interview for you or not, but that's what they're trying to tell you. Sila say good evening. Pinda repeated I-130 one more time. So I need more. Missy, I just caught you. Are interviews still being waived? Answer is yes under Biden. For many cases, at least our cases, no interview. Okay. F1, okay, user 69, 62, F1 student just got married and then file. Okay, you have a appointment for biometrics. Is it safe not to go to school? Okay, you need to be careful. Especially coming with Trump. Yeah, just need to be careful. Okay, yeah, Shen Woolley confirmed that she's overseas and then she's a female. Okay. I'm just reviewing your question. Okay, Archida asked the question. It's about the K1 fiance visa, and then asking question about when USCIS will cash out your filing fee. Usually 7 to 10 days later. They will cash out your filing fee. Okay, I'm just reviewing this question here. So Bakari, once again, maybe not proper pronunciation, asked question about CR1 spouse visa timing, like processing time, depends on country. if your spouse not in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Mexico, then I would say 18 month, 18 month or less, 18 month or less. Yeah, I mean, whenever you see I'm scrolling other screen, this is the screen that I get the question. So sometimes it takes some time to review this. Okay, so then Kakenia has sibling petition. It's a family preference F4, and then she filed 2009. If your siblings not in Mexico or Philippines, then it takes 15 years. So you're almost there, 15 years. So when you have a sibling case, like for 15 years, nothing happens in most cases. Like USCIS not touching I-130, just like still pending with the USCIS. Sometimes they review, but sometimes in most cases they don't review. So unless your siblings living or citizens in Pakistan, or I'm sorry, not Pakistan, but Philippines or India, the Mexico, then it'll be a little bit faster. Okay, D94. Can one file VAWA petition within 1 month of marriage? Possibility. The U.S. citizen spouse can be very abusive, and then it's like before and after marriage, and then answer is yes. But when you apply for a VAWA case, you need to show that you and your spouse live together. I mean, people only think about proving abusive relationship. It can be emotional, it can be physical. You don't need a police report per se. It can be financial, like your spouse is very controlling, like putting you down and then threaten you that I'm gonna deport you outside of the United States. But you need to show that you live together and then you build the life together. Now, D94, if you need attorney, call us, right? We also specialize in VAWA cases. We do successfully VAWA cases. Okay, Alexandria, you're on F1 OPT, and then you wonder whether your uncle may sponsor you to stay in the US. I mean, is your uncle a company owner and then he's going to sponsor you for your employment-based green card? Is that what you're asking? I mean, family relationships okay, but there should be a bona fide, company structure, and then your uncle must have a financial ability to support you, and then it needs to be related to what you do. Okay, but it's one thing, but also number two, while your employment-based case pending, you must maintain your legal status independently. So F1 OPT is 1 year, right? Unless you're eligible for STEM OPT, then that's it. And then you have a 60-day grace period, either prior to expiration of grace period, you need to live in the United States, or I mean, I'll tell everyone, you get married to U.S. citizen, then it's gonna solve all the problem. Get married to U.S. citizen, okay? Best case option. Okay, Silla. Okay, you have an application of K1. You apply in March 2024. Yeah, you got the request for evidence. Nothing personal, but we don't get K1 request for evidence. So what would be typical K1, the request for evidence? The relationship, right? I mean, I'm just saying that in general, right? You didn't submit strong relationship, or you submitted your K1 approaching almost end of 2 year, right? Or your fiance, U.S. citizen fiance, has a criminal records and didn't submit, or you met your fiance through online dating website, certain one, not everyone, and then that's like a typical the request evidence for K1. I'm gonna make a video on this. Okay, so then Silla, come back. Okay, I'll make a video. Very good question. Okay. Okay, Archida. Okay, there we go. Where are you? I was reviewing your questions, and then I think that I just missed that. Okay. So Archida, I did in my account blank. You mean like a USCIS account? I'm not sure. I need a little bit more, explanation. Okay, Vincent, your 45 denied, and then your work permit revoked, and then you're in removal proceeding. I'm sorry to hear that. Did you get married to U.S. citizen, or I mean, what kind of 485 did you submit? Employment based or marriage based? Why was it denied? So we need a lot more information. Contact us. Contact us. We handle complex cases. Complex cases. Okay. You know, Eva Bless, you filed VAWA 3 years ago. That's kind of a little bit slow. Our VAWA case is 360 approving, like 2 years after we submitted, and then 1 year later, green card approved. I'm not sure whether you're talking about, 485 based upon 360 pending this much or just VAWA. It's kind of hard to tell because we didn't process your case. Okay. So you just got married, Diote. You just got married, and my husband has his parents' address on his ID. Okay, now I will tell you this: address, address, address. Many U.S. citizen spouses say that, well, I move around, my parents never move. They're like fixed. And then why don't I use my parents' address? One scenario. Second one, I used to live with my parents, and then I don't want to change my driver license because, like I said, they don't move, and then, no issue. I'll tell you this: you need to, your husband, U.S. citizen husband, must change the driver license address, showing joint address, because otherwise USCIS may think that your husband lives at his parents' house. You live at your joint residency alone, part-time couple. Very careful. You need to be very careful. Okay. And then Dionte, if you haven't submitted your case and looking for attorney, call us. Call us. Okay. Yeah. So Abeni, once again, not you know fully spelling your name. You have a TPS, right? You're on TPS, and then will you be put it into removal proceeding? I will tell you this: under his first presidency, Trump. Thank you so much for Rose. Trump tried to cancel TPS, but no TPS cancel. No TPS cancel. So we'll see. We'll see. But once TPS cancel, then you maybe join my team. You maybe put it into removal proceeding. So what do? You get married to U.S. citizen. It's not too late. You get married to U.S. citizen. Okay. So thank you so much for joining this live. I just couldn't do it last week because of Thanksgiving. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go back to regular schedule. I have so much to catch up. But thank you so much for joining this live. For now, I will be doing like a multi live stream, TikTok, YouTube, and then LinkedIn, Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Time. And then I may do additional one, but just like so much work to do. And then, I like to, I like to reach out to you as much as I can. So I'll think about that. I'm going to work on it. But until then, peace be with you. Peace be with you.